Guys, I have some bad news. But you know what? Let's start off the video with some good news. So the good news is that this is another Bubbly Boy video. So of course, that's always some good news. The bad news is this is not a live twin video. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. But first, let me explain. Let me explain, please. Okay? This is not another live twin video, but that does not mean I'm stopping the deck. Okay? I'm not gonna stop playing the deck no matter what. Okay? But in this video, we are going to be featuring a new deck. Maybe my new favorite main deck for now. I mean, I've been playing it for a couple days already. It's so fun. And I can't stop playing it, bro. If you don't know already, it's not Unchained. Unchained is also one of my very few decks I actually play a lot. That's really fun to me. But this deck, bro, I swear is the hardest. It was one of the hardest decks I've ever played in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie, but it's so fun at the same time. If you don't know what that deck is already, drum roll please. It's Sky Striker. Okay, so Sky Striker is one of my favorite decks I've been playing recently. It's so fun. It's basically more of a Tenpai style deck, but it doesn't OTK as much as Tenpai. It mostly just breaks the board and just goes into a grindy game in which you just go ahead and grind your opponent out to a point where they can't grind enough, and you just over grind them and OTK them slowly. Sometimes you can OTK with this deck though, with the linkage and Ray combo. But overall, this deck is so fun. I just love the playstyle of it. It's so good. And then it's so hard to play though, because I the only reason I started playing this deck was because I've heard is that it's super hard to play, like super hard to master. I'm like, it can't be that, but all you gotta do is get 3 spells in your hand and engage, and how hard is that? It's a lot harder than it looks, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest, it is a lot harder than it looks. So yeah, I'm gonna be going over the deck list I'm using for Sky Striker. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten a good replay since I haven't really gotten any good replays because the blue-eyed dragon is on a rampage. So I really don't want to play this deck against that because it sucks against that deck, bro. There's nothing I could do because the primary cards are just absolutely annoying with it, because whatever board breaker I do, they're either gonna negate it with the blue eyes, or they have the primary cards to negate it. So it's not really I can't really do anything. So yeah, and plus I'm not playing any secrets in the extract for the Ultimate Slayer, which I'll get into that in a bit. So before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And we're really close. We only need like 2 more subscribers at the time of recording, and we will reach that goal. So I'm really happy that you guys are helping me out with this. I really appreciate it. Let's get 2 more subscribers and we'll reach our goal. Okay, so for the starters, okay, so we have 2 Ray and 1 Rose. That's all for the monsters. Okay, reason why I'm running 2 Ray, I may bump it up to 3 though, depending, because I had times where one of my Rays were banished off the Desires, and then the other one was banished off of a Bestial. But to be honest, I never really had a problem with 2 Ray. So far, I have played a lot of matches with Sky Striker, and most of the time 2 Ray were enough for me. I never really needed a 3rd, because you still have access to them with Hornet drones, reinforcements of the army, and I just really wanted to open up like 6 spells in my hand. I wanted to minimize drawing monsters in my hand, especially drawing multiples of the monsters too. So that's why I'm only running 2 Ray, and then 1 Rose, of course. 1 Rose is mainly just for the OTK and just being able to get extra bodies on board. This Rose is really nice because when you remove a monster on your opponent's board, I believe all this card is in your graveyard, so you don't even need to have a Sky Striker on board. All you need to do is get rid of a monster in the extra monster zone. You can discard special summon this card from your grave, which is really nice. That's a deck effect comes up a lot, and negates a face a monster your opponent controls, which is really insane. Next for the Sky Striker spells, we have 3 Engage. This is obviously the better art. This art is absolutely insane. I love this art to death. bro. I wish I could get 3 copies of this art, but that's too expensive for me, bro. That's why I had an IRL. I had to buy the other arts, but I do have at least one of these, which is so beautiful, bro. That art is amazing. So of course we're running 3 engage. I don't know why you were running less than this, but we were running 3 engage. Widow anchor, 3 widow anchor. This is very, very nice here. 1 afterburners, and then 2 shark cannon. Of course you have to run shark cannon for bestials, fiendsmith, malice too. You banish whatever you're gonna special summon from grave off of the GWP something. That 1 trap. But yeah, this is very, very important. You need to run 2 of these, especially if you need extra bodies to link climb into something like Axis Code Talker, SP Little Knight, or Azalea 2. Also you have multi-roll. Multi-roll is very important for the grinding game. You may want to run 2, but honestly I never really needed to. Next year I also have linkage. 2 linkage. This is all you need. You don't need 3 at all. I really don't want to see this card unless I need it, so that's why I rather just search off an engage or something like that. 1 horde on drones, and then 1 reinforcements to the army. Of course we have to run the Sky Striker art if we're running reinforcements to the army, and if we're running it in a Sky Striker deck, right? So next I'm running 3 Upstart Goblin and 3 Powder Desires for generic spells. This is more for draw power. But I am planning to change the Upstart Goblin since it does lose a draw. And this deck does lose a draw in general very, very hard. So I may change this Upstart Goblin for something else. I'm not 100% sure on what. Maybe more board breakers or something like that. I'm not too sure. But I still want the consistency to be there. So I'm not 100% sure on what I'm going to cut the Upstart Goblin for. Next 3 Pot Desires. Of course, Pot is amazing. Even if you get drolled, you still get those 2 cards, so it's really, really nice. 3 thrusts, 3 talents. I may cut the talents to 2. I'm not really sure what I may cut the talents for. Maybe for another Ultimate Slayer, but I'm not really too sure about it. Because I'm not running enough targets in the extra deck to be running 3 Ultimate Slayer. Especially for the grind game. Grind game is not really good if you're running Ultimate Slayer, because then after that you're limiting your opponent from going into the extra deck anyways, so there's no reason to actually be running Ultimate Slayer. Going into Ultimate Slayer in the grind game, right? So next after that you're running 3 droplet. 3 droplet is mandatory. This card is absolutely insane in this deck. And then 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Raigeki. Even though Raziel does play around Raigeki very easily, all you gotta do is negate or get rid of the detonator with the Ultimate Slayer or something like that, and then you go Raigeki their full board. That's really all it takes. Remember, you're trying to get multiple board breakers in your hand, so this doesn't do anything by itself, of course, but paired up with some other board breakers, it does do a lot of damage, right? And it just clears the field in order for you to OTK as well. Call by the Grave, very, very important. Helps you play around hand traps. Also banishes cards in opponent's graveyard. It's like another shark cannon. Plus, it also helps you against draw as well. 2 Ultimate Slayer, and then 2 Lightning Storm. This is very, very nice here. 2 Lightning Storm is absolutely insane for back row decks. And then Ultimate Slayer. Bro, Ultimate Slayer has been treating me good, bro. This deck is so good with Ultimate Slayer, and you have enough room. I mean, I had to cut a lot of stuff. I wish I was able to fit in a Typhon in the extra deck, but we are unable to fit a Typhon. I'm trying to figure out what to cut for a Typhon. But Ultimate Slayer, bro, this card is insane. I may run it at 3. It's not even once per turn either, but against Blue Eyes, it sucks bad. It sucks donkey balls. Okay. So yeah, I may cut. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Ultimate Slayer. It's so good, bro. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this deck in general, because right now the timing, the deck right now is not really that good, but it's like it's still like a nice fun deck to play on this side, and when the timing is right, it's right. Like, you know, you could play this deck, right? And next, for the extra deck, we're running 3 Gagari, 2 Hayate, 2 Shizuku, 1 Kaina. I've seen a lot of lists running like these ratios, which I do understand. I really want to change these ratios either. You do go into 3 Kagari a lot. 2 Hayate, 2 Shizuku do come up, and then 1 Kaina. That protects you against like Tenpai and stuff, preventing your opponent from attacking you, or getting rid of your Sky Striker cycle. So that does come up. And then you do have 1 Azalea. one Azalea is just for more removal. Same thing with Zeke. At least Azalea though is a little bit more generic. Yeah, one SP Lil Knight. Then Aggregator, Bucephalus, and Garura for the Ultimate Slayer targets. And then finally you have Axis Code Talker. I may cut the Axis Code Talker though, since you don't go into it pretty much at all. You don't really go into it at all. But it's still very nice to have in general. I may cut it for a Typhon though, I'm not too sure. Next we're running 3 Lancia for side deck, 3 different Durham Action Ground, 3 Judgment, 3 BD Barrier, 3 Sanctum. Basically this is just all going first cards. I mean, maybe going second against Malice you run into Lancia, but overall these are all going first cards since this deck is easily able to go second. Basically for no matter what any deck is. But going first is not that good at all. I can't really set up a board, especially if your opponent just wipes all back row you have. It's not the greatest. So you need to be able to have floodgates in your extra deck. I mean your side deck, in order to actually prevent your opponent from playing the game. Now that is it, my bubbly boys. That is it for today's video. I really want to give you guys a replay, but unfortunately I couldn't give you guys a replay, so I'm gonna have to just give you a deck list for now. Next video, of course, remember this is going to be live stream related, so do not worry. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.